North Dakota hockey is headed west this weekend to face longtime rival Denver in a 2 versus 3 matchup at Magnus Arena. To help preview this highly anticipated series between two of college hockey's best, I'm proud to be joined by Brad Schlossman of the Grand Forks Herald. Brad, when you look at North Dakota entering this weekend, they're riding a 7-game winning streak. What's been clicking for Bradbury's team thus far?
Well, the big turnaround has been on the defensive side. You look through 14 games last year, UND scored 51 goals. Through 14 games this year, UND scored 51 goals. So offensively, they're at the same output. Then you look on the defensive side, and through 14 games last year, they had given up 43 goals. This year, 27. So
Oh,
just an absolutely massive drop. Goaltending has been fantastic. Ludwig Persson has been better than expected, and I expected he was going to be good. Defensively, had you not known that these 8 guys have never played together and they were all 8 new guys and you watched UND, you would have no idea. It just looks like everything's natural for these guys playing together. There hasn't been issues with communication or anything in that nature. It just feels, watching it, it looks like these guys have all played together before. So they play hard. They block a ton of shots. They do a lot of little things right. They lead the league in block shots. They lead the league in face-off percentage. Their goaltender leads the league in save percentage. So there's so many things right now that on the defensive side that they're doing right, and it's all added up to a completely turned around team.
yeah, the fact that they are 11-2-1 is made all the more impressive that they've faced such elite
Yes.
competition throughout the season. Now they get a Pioneers team that's ranked third in the country and is the highest scoring offense in the nation. What do you make of this Pioneers team that has won the last 2 Penrose Cups?
I mean, they're scoring a ton. That's the first thing that jumps off the page. They are averaging 5.5 goals per game. That's an entire goal more than anyone in the country. Number 2 is at 4.4. So nobody's even in the same vicinity scoring goals. So they can score. They have a lot of guys who can score offensively. Their blue line is a bunch of offensive guys. And so it's been all offense for the Pioneers this season. At times defensively, that's where they've been vulnerable. And that is the big question heading into this weekend. On the flip side, UND, number 2 defensive team in the nation. Can they slow down that Pioneers offense? Can UND's forwards find a way to make life difficult for Denver's defenders and for a freshman goaltender, assuming Freddie Halleck is the guy in net this weekend?
Yeah, that does set up this series to be so finely poised when you do have the best defense essentially in the country versus the best offense.
I think we will see offense. I do. As strong as UND's been on the back end, I just think this Denver team will score. Last year in Magnus, that's what we saw. UND scored too, but Denver scored a little more than UND in that series. I do think UND can, if they're able to get the puck in the offensive zone with frequency and forecheck on their D quite hard, I think there's a chance that they can force some turnovers. They did it last year, but I do think both teams are going to be able to score. I do not see a low scoring games in Magnus this weekend. So if you like goals, should be a fun one.
They're typically our goals when these two
Yeah.
get together, don't they?
Mhm.
Last thing, it's obviously very early in the league season. This will be games 5 and 6 for both of these teams in NCHC play, but most would believe these are the two front runners once again to push for a Penrose Cup. How important does this weekend become in the race for a league championship for both Denver and North Dakota?
Yeah, it's weird to think of it in that context when it's so early in the season. But if these are the two teams that come down to it, this is a potential 6-point swing for either team. I mean, these games are really critical at the end of the year. And when you go to the standings in March and you're at the last weekend and you play around with, well, if this would have happened in December, you'll realize pretty quick how important these games are. From a pairwise perspective, they're going to be critical. UND is going on the road. This is a chance to get a few bonus points in the pairwise against a top team. So these games are critical on all fronts, I think. And just, it's another chance to see where UND is against some of the best teams in the country. We've seen them play some of the best teams in different leagues, and now they're in league playing the team that was picked to win it. So they are seeing a sample of the best teams in the country right now. And so far, they've measured up very, very well. And this is another test for that.
It's just the next step along the path on this season for North Dakota and for Denver as well. Should be an outstanding series. You can watch game one from the Rockies live on Midco Sports. It'll be on at 7 p.m. local time, 8 p.m. Central. Game two, Saturday, only on NCHC.tv at 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain. Brad, thanks as always for the time. Enjoy what should be an outstanding college hockey series this weekend.
Absolutely. Thanks, Alex.